Hey everyone, how's it going today? cryptoFOXXY here. Thanks so much for stopping by the channel. So in this video, I'm going to tell you guys my favorite use case for AI agents. We're going to have a little discussion about it, and I'm also going to show you a product from the Artificial Superintelligence Alliance regarding this very same topic. So let's jump into it in this video. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and follow me on X as well if you're watching over there. So as you guys may know, healthcare is one of the biggest avenues I think that AI can really help us. And this use case is something that is very, very important, and it opens up a number of different um, topics, I guess, that I really want to talk about. I'm not going to get into too much detail in each one of them because I want to keep this video fairly short for you guys. But medical agents with Fetch AI's Agent First and Singularity Net's Meta. Now, this is the most useful. Medical assistants do more than generate fluent text. They represent knowledge in a way that supports inspection, logic, and updates over time. Now, this article actually outlines how to pair Singularity Net's meta knowledge system with Fetch AI's Agent First to build a medical agent that reasons over structured facts, learns new entries safely, and remains compatible with ASI 1. Now, you can read a detailed walkthrough of this here on the Innovation Lab resources page. I'm going to put a link to this X post in the description of this video. So you guys can go and take a look at it if you so choose. So what are they bringing to the table here with their medical agent? They're representing medical facts as queryable relationships. Retrieving answers through pattern matching rather than keyword searching, attaching values to concepts such as treatments or side effects, keeping knowledge in space that can be extended at runtime. Now, why is this really important? Why do I think that healthcare is the biggest avenue or the biggest um, potentially recipient of impact from AI? Well, I think that it can help with a lot of cases in healthcare, and one being the patient to provider uh, relationship, right? You have a number of different people out there, and I know it depends and it varies depending on which country you're in, but I'm in Canada and I'm located in Nova Scotia. Now, in Nova Scotia, we have probably upwards to 80 to 100,000 people in my province, which is probably about 10% of the population that don't have access to a primary care physician. They don't have access to a general practitioner. They don't have access to, somebody that they can see regularly in regards to their issues, right? And is the answer them talking to AI? That I don't think that that's the case whatsoever. I think that the reason AI is going to become so important in healthcare is because it's going to free up doctors and healthcare professionals' time in order to see more patients. And I think that, having knowledgeable information, reliable information, and maybe case studies and what have you, they all have access to some of these things now. But they're reading out of books, they're searching the internet, they're going here and they're going there. Imagine having it all under your fingertips, and putting in symptoms and putting in whatever, and it already populating a list of things that could potentially be beneficial to them, helping you and to your care plan, and not having to go to different doctors and different like here, if you don't have a doctor, you're going to a clinic and you're going to see a different person every single time, or you're going to have healthcare over the phone. So you're having a video chat with somebody that you don't know, that doesn't really know you, doesn't know your whole entire background, and you're having to explain your symptoms and your condition over and over and over again to all these many different people. Well, what if AI could help um, reduce some of the time that providers are spending diagnosing and making care plans, etc., for people, and it frees them up to help more people, right? And and as advanced as the system gets, it's going to entice more people to get into that field, right? Because right now the workload for doctors is absolutely insane. I actually come from healthcare. That's what I actually went to college for. I worked with elderly. I worked with um, I worked with people with Alzheimer's and Alzheimer's units. I worked in a few different places. I also worked in home care. Yeah, so I traveled around to many different people and I hear many different people's stories and they all seem to be the same. It's like the people that they talk to don't listen, they don't have time for them, and that leads to a number of other medical issues coming up down the road because now they're reluctant to go and get care for what is ailing them. So, there's just so many things that AI can do and just to help in this medical care sector. And I think that this is one of the biggest things that I'm excited about in terms of ASI. So you can actually go and create this now. You agents give your meta backed assistant an identity, a message bus, and a standard chat protocol so it can participate in ASI 1 and agent first. And that means the agent can be discovered and invoked by ASI 1. Messages flow to a consistent structure for requests and acknowledgements, and you can add mailbox connectivity and publish manifest for discovery. Really cool. Obviously, this is all in development, but it outlines basically everything that they can do. And that they're working on, so it's a vast knowledge right here of what it can do. But the safety and scope for medical use, obviously this design right now is for education and triage style guidance, and it's not a substitute for professional advice. And that's why I feel like AI is going to be such a huge assistant in the medical space because, I don't think it's a substitute for a real person's guidance and professional advice, right? This is what people go to school for years. And, it's really hard to replicate that into a bot, right? Or into a knowledge base, right? It's really hard to replicate that. But the best thing that they can do is provide information and the quick access of information for these professionals who are doing their jobs. So, obviously, healthcare is one of those topics that is extremely hard to find solutions to problems, right? But this is a really great step in the right direction, in my opinion. I think that that AI is going to become great in terms of not just healthcare, but many other things around the world. But in terms of healthcare, you could have bots that have specialties. You could have you could have a number of different specialties that help our providers that we have now and free up their time for them to do to take on more because as we grow and as we grow and things change and society changes, we don't have as many people going to university, we don't have as many people becoming doctors even, and we're having to recruit from other places around the world. So this is one thing that we can use to our advantage to help us in humanity. I think it's a great idea. Let me know down below, what are your other thoughts? What are you most excited for in AI? This is just something that I'm passionate about because I believe healthcare, every single person out there can benefit from AI in healthcare. No matter who you are, no matter, it's something that can benefit all of humanity. So that's what I got for you guys in this video. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.